Buddhism teaches that suffering, or dukkha, is an inherent part of human existence, but it is through the experience of suffering that we come to understand the true nature of the world. For the chosen, loneliness and disconnection are forms of suffering that arise from the realization that the material world is transient and imperfect. This realization can be disorienting, especially when you are young and not yet equipped with the tools to fully understand what is happening. The sense of being different, of being out of place in the world, can feel like a heavy burden at times. Yet, this is the beginning of a journey towards spiritual awakening, a journey that requires patience, perseverance, and inner strength. In the silence of solitude, you begin to learn the most important lesson, that true peace does not come from external sources, but from within. The external world is constantly shifting, unpredictable, and often unreliable. People come and go, circumstances change, and material possessions fade away. But the stillness within, the connection to your inner self, is constant and enduring. Through meditation and mindfulness, the Buddhist path offers a way to cultivate this inner peace, to find the strength to stand firm even in the face of uncertainty. The chosen are not immune to life's difficulties, but they are equipped with the wisdom and resilience to navigate these challenges with grace. In Buddhist philosophy, there is a concept known as samsara, the cycle of birth, death, and rebirth. This cycle represents the continuous flow of life and the endless opportunities for growth and transformation. The chosen are those who in this lifetime have awakened to the deeper truths of existence. They recognize that the path to enlightenment is not an easy one, and that it is often marked by periods of isolation, confusion, and hardship. But it is through these struggles that they find their strength. Just as a river carves its path through rock over time, the chosen are shaped by their experiences, and through these experiences, they grow stronger and more resilient. The chosen are often tested in ways that others may not understand. They may face challenges that seem insurmountable, or their journey may take them in directions that others find difficult to follow. But this is the nature of the path. In Buddhism, the path to enlightenment is not about following a prescribed set of rules or conforming to the expectations of others. It is about finding your own way, about walking a path that is uniquely your own, and trusting in the process of growth and transformation. The feeling of loneliness that the chosen experience is not a punishment but a preparation. It is a reminder that the path to enlightenment is one that requires inner strength, self-reliance, and clarity. The silence of solitude teaches the chosen to look inward for the answers, to trust their intuition, and to embrace the mystery of life with open arms. As the Buddha taught, the journey to enlightenment is not about finding external validation or approval. It is about discovering your true nature, connecting with the divine, and understanding your place in the vast, interconnected web of existence. As you continue on this journey, you may find that the loneliness begins to fade, replaced by a deep sense of peace and understanding. The more you cultivate inner peace and clarity, the more you begin to see the interconnectedness of all things. What once seemed like isolation now becomes a space for profound growth and connection. The chosen are not isolated from the world. They are simply more attuned to its deeper spiritual truths. Through their experiences of loneliness, they come to understand that true connection comes not from the external world, but from the recognition of the divine within themselves and others. In conclusion, the loneliness that you may have felt from an early age is not a sign of being forgotten or abandoned. It is a sign that you are being prepared for a deeper journey, one that will require you to cultivate inner strength, wisdom, and clarity. The path of the chosen is not easy, but it is the path that leads to enlightenment. Through the practice of mindfulness, meditation, and self-reflection, you will come to understand that the loneliness you have felt is not an obstacle to be overcome, but a teacher in its own right. As you walk this path, remember that you are never truly alone. The universe is always with you, guiding you toward your highest purpose. A strong sense of justice. From an early age, there was an unshakable awareness that stirred within you, a sharp sense of fairness and injustice that seemed to rise naturally without any prompting. Whether it was a minor dispute in the schoolyard, an unfair situation at home, or simply witnessing someone being wronged in a way that went unnoticed by others, you were compelled to act. This drive to restore balance, to fight for what was right, was not something taught or instilled by anyone around you. It was an innate part of your being, as though the universe had embedded a moral compass deep within your heart and mind. From the smallest injustices to the largest wrongs, you felt a profound calling to speak up, to protect, and to correct. This inner drive is not uncommon for those who are chosen for a higher path. In Buddhist philosophy, there is a deep understanding of the interconnectedness of all beings. Every action, no matter how small, ripples through the fabric of existence, touching lives in ways we cannot always see or comprehend. To recognize injustice is, in essence, to recognize that all beings are interconnected and that what harms one harms the whole. It is an awakening to the truth that we are not isolated individuals, but part of a larger, intricate web of life, where every action carries weight and significance. The chosen, therefore, are often those who are most sensitive to these imbalances in the world, who feel the pull to right the wrongs they encounter, no matter how daunting or difficult the task. Zen philosophy speaks of the concept of emptiness, which suggests that all things are interconnected and that the nature of reality is fluid, ever-changing. From this perspective, to feel compelled to correct injustice is to acknowledge the inherent unity of all things. In Zen, there is a deep reverence for the idea that every action we take is part of a greater whole. Therefore, to stand by when others are suffering or being wronged is to disregard the interconnected nature of life. The chosen, those with an inherent sense of justice, are often called to be protectors, warriors for balance in a chaotic and often unjust world. As a child, you may have found yourself constantly stepping in to intervene in situations that seemed unfair. Perhaps you were the one who stood up to a bully, spoke out when others were silenced, or intervened when you saw someone being taken advantage of. These actions, though seemingly small, were an expression of something far greater, an innate awareness that what was happening was not in harmony with the way the world was meant to be. You were not acting out of anger or frustration, but out of a deep sense of knowing that something was out of alignment with the natural order. Yet this powerful sense of justice, while deeply aligned with your soul's calling, often brought challenges. You may have been misunderstood, labeled as overly sensitive, dramatic, or even rebellious by those around you. In a world where the status quo often reigns, standing up for what is right can sometimes be seen as disruptive. Others might have been quick to dismiss your actions, perhaps even accusing you of making things worse by stirring the pot or challenging authority. You may have felt isolated, as though the very essence of who you were was at odds with the world around you. These challenges were not in vain, though. They were not merely obstacles or moments of frustration. They were shaping your spirit, refining your character, and preparing you for the road ahead. The chosen are often called to make difficult decisions, to stand in places where others hesitate, to face adversity head-on, even when it feels like the world is against them. It is in these moments of struggle and misunderstanding that the chosen are strengthened. These experiences, though painful, teach the lessons that will be needed later in life when larger, more consequential decisions are at stake. In many ways, This sense of justice is a double-edged sword. On one hand, it grants the chosen the ability to stand firm in their convictions, to advocate for those who cannot speak for themselves, and to restore balance where it has been disrupted. On the other hand, it comes with a deep sense of internal conflict, as the chosen often find themselves at odds with those around them, misunderstood and isolated by their uncompromising beliefs. The balance between standing up for what is right and navigating the complexities of the world's injustices is not an easy one. Yet it is through this tension that the chosen develop the wisdom, resilience, and inner strength required to walk their path. The Zen teachings speak to this delicate balance of action and non-action, of doing what is necessary without attachment to the outcome. In a world filled with injustice, it can be tempting to fight with anger, frustration, or even vengeance. Yet Zen philosophy encourages the practitioner to act with compassion and clarity, to move through the world not with aggression, but with the intent to restore balance and harmony. The chosen, therefore, must learn to temper their sense of justice with wisdom, understanding that the pursuit of fairness is not always straightforward. Life, in its profound mystery, often unfolds in ways that transcend ordinary understanding. It moves like a silent teacher, its lessons hidden in the quiet spaces between our thoughts, actions, and experiences. For some, these lessons arrive early in life, wrapped in the simplicity of childhood moments that seem inconsequential at the time. However, as time passes, and we look back with the clarity of reflection, we begin to see that those moments were not mere accidents or coincidences. Rather, they were subtle signs, guiding us toward a higher purpose, shaping us into who we were always meant to be. This is the essence of a chosen life, one where the universe whispers its secrets to us in gentle, imperceptible ways. Childhood, though often seen as a time of innocence and play, can be a period of profound revelation for those who are attuned to the signs around them. In the quiet corners of our youth, there are moments of inexplicable wisdom, subtle struggles and peculiarities that, when viewed through the lens of time, take on a deeper meaning. Perhaps it was an unusual interest in a subject, a deep sensitivity to the feelings of others, or a tendency to feel out of place, even in familiar surroundings. These seemingly random traits are not just quirks. They are the universe's way of communicating with those who are chosen for a path of greater significance. The teachings of Zen and Buddhist philosophy speak profoundly to this idea of the universe communicating with us through subtle signs. In Zen, there is a deep understanding that everything in life carries a message, if only we are willing to listen. The world is not a random collection of events, rather it is a vast web of interconnectedness, where each moment has meaning, each experience is a lesson. As one Zen master famously said, "The river does not rush its flow, yet it carves the hardest rock over time." This speaks to the nature of life's journey, one that does not force its course, but moves patiently, shaping us over time. Much like the river, a chosen one's path reveals itself gradually, often through quiet moments and subtle indicators that appear early in life. But how can we recognize these signs? And how do we know if we are indeed among the chosen? It is a question that many ponder throughout their lives, particularly when faced with difficult moments or seemingly inexplicable occurrences. The key, however, lies in learning to listen, to truly observe the experiences that come our way, both the joyful and the challenging. Buddhist teachings tell us that the universe speaks to us through everything, not just in moments of triumph, but also in the times of struggle and difficulty. The teachings encourage us to embrace these moments, to see them not as burdens, but as opportunities for growth, understanding, and self-realization. One of the most profound signs that one may be chosen for a deeper path is the experience of struggle and suffering. In Buddhist philosophy, suffering is not seen as something to be avoided at all costs, but as a powerful catalyst for transformation. It is through hardship that we learn to refine our character, develop resilience, and awaken to the deeper truths of existence. The Buddha himself spoke of the inevitability of suffering, but he also spoke of the possibility of transcending it through wisdom, mindfulness, and compassion. For the chosen, suffering becomes a doorway to greater self-awareness and spiritual awakening. Another sign of being chosen is a deep sense of longing or yearning, a feeling that there is something more to life than what is immediately apparent. This longing often arises in childhood, manifesting as a desire for deeper meaning, a sense of connection to something greater than oneself. It is a quiet, persistent whisper that calls out from within, urging the individual to seek beyond the surface and explore the mysteries of existence. This longing is often accompanied by moments of deep insight, where the individual experiences a glimpse of a higher truth or a profound realization that goes beyond the ordinary. These moments, though fleeting, serve as reminders that there is more to life than the material world we see around us. Another clear sign that one is chosen for a greater path is the experience of synchronicity, the sense that events are unfolding in perfect harmony, as if the universe itself is guiding you toward your destiny. These moments of synchronicity often feel magical, as if the pieces of the puzzle are falling into place with ease and grace. This could manifest in the form of chance encounters, opportunities that seem to come out of nowhere, or sudden insights that illuminate the path ahead. These moments are not coincidences. They are the universe's way of signaling that you are on the right track, that the flow of life is aligning with your deeper purpose. As we reflect on these signs, it is important to remember that the path of the chosen is not always a smooth one. In fact, the journey may be fraught with challenges and obstacles that test our resolve and push us to our limits. However, it is in facing these challenges with grace, patience, and wisdom that we truly come to understand the depth of our calling. Zen teachings emphasize the importance of accepting life as it is, without resistance. By embracing each moment, whether joyful or painful, as a part of the greater whole, we can begin to see how each experience contributes to our growth and evolution. The journey of the chosen is not a solitary one. It is interconnected with the lives of others, and the signs that guide us are often intertwined with the people we meet along the way. As we continue on our path, we are bound to encounter fellow travelers, other souls who are also walking their own journeys of self-discovery and awakening. These encounters are not random. They are part of the intricate web of life that brings us together to share wisdom, offer support, and help one another along the way. In conclusion, the signs that we are chosen for a higher path are often subtle, hidden in the moments of our daily lives. They appear in the form of struggles, longings, synchronicities, and quiet wisdom that emerge from within. By paying attention to these signs and learning to embrace the lessons they offer, we can begin to walk the path of self-discovery and spiritual awakening. As we move through life, let us remember that the universe is always communicating with us, guiding us toward our greater purpose. It is up to us to listen, to be present, and to accept the journey as it unfolds, knowing that each step we take brings us closer to the deeper truths of existence. An unusual sense of loneliness. From an early age, many of us experience feelings that are difficult to explain, even to ourselves. A deep sense of loneliness settles within, an inexplicable feeling of being out of sync with those around us. This loneliness doesn't stem from rejection or a lack of connection, but from something deeper, a quiet whisper that we are different. Unlike other children who thrive in the companionship of their peers, you may have found solace in solitude. The moments when you were alone seemed to offer a peace that was otherwise hard to find in the hustle and bustle of social life. For many who are on a deeper spiritual path, this solitude becomes a place of reflection, an essential space where the self can grow, develop, and begin to understand the deeper currents of existence. At first glance, this sense of loneliness may seem like a mere emotional state, something to be alleviated with the company of others or through a change in circumstances. But as you journey deeper into the experience of being chosen, it becomes clear that this loneliness is not just a feeling, it's a preparation. It is a sign that you are more attuned to a reality that others may not yet see or understand. In Buddhist philosophy, this sense of unease is known as dukkha, which translates roughly as suffering, dissatisfaction, or a subtle but persistent feeling of disconnection. Dukkha arises from the inherent imperfection of life and our longing for something more, something transcendent, something that connects us to a greater purpose. The chosen, it seems, are those who feel this disconnection more acutely than others. But this feeling of loneliness is not a punishment nor a curse. It is, in fact, a tool of preparation. The chosen are often tasked with a journey that is solitary in nature, a path that requires great inner strength and clarity, especially when it feels like no one else understands the path they are walking. The silence of those lonely moments becomes an invaluable teacher, guiding you toward a deeper understanding of your purpose. The world around you may seem loud, chaotic, and filled with distractions, but in solitude you learn to listen to the quiet whispers of your inner self. It is in these moments of stillness that you begin to understand that your path is not a conventional one. It is unique, and at times it will feel solitary. As the teachings of Buddhism emphasize, the physical world is often filled with distractions that keep us from seeing the true nature of existence. We are so deeply immersed in the material world that we forget about the spiritual realm that exists just beyond the veil of our perceptions. For the chosen, this disconnection is more apparent. From a young age, you may have felt that the world did not align with your deeper knowing, and this feeling of disconnection only intensified as you grew older. It is not that others are less important or less connected to the world around them, but the chosen see things differently. They perceive the hidden layers of life, the subtle energies that shape the course of events, and this awareness can make the material world seem empty in comparison to the spiritual truths they sense. Buddhism teaches that suffering, or dukkha, is an inherent part of human existence. At times, the path may require patience, reflection, and an ability to see beyond the surface of a situation to understand its deeper causes. Throughout your life, you may have felt torn between your strong sense of right and wrong and the harsh realities of the world. The world is filled with suffering and injustice, and it can be easy to become overwhelmed by it all. But the teachings of Buddhism remind us that the world is also full of opportunity for transformation. The chosen are not called to single-handedly right every wrong, nor are they asked to bear the weight of the world's suffering alone. Instead, they are called to act with discernment, to make decisions that contribute to the greater good, and to stand firm in their beliefs, even when faced with opposition. Your deep awareness of injustice, the moral compass that has guided you throughout your life, is a gift. It is a sign that you are on the path of the chosen, one who has been called to bring balance to the world in whatever way you can. Whether through small acts of kindness, standing up for what is right, or advocating for those who are silenced, the chosen have a role to play in restoring harmony to the world. It is not an easy path, and it often comes with sacrifice and misunderstanding. But the Zen teachings remind us that every action, no matter how small, ripples through the universe, contributing to the greater whole. There will be times when you are faced with difficult choices, when your sense of justice will demand that you stand up for what is right, even when it feels like the world is against you. In these moments, it is important to remember that the path of the chosen is not about being perfect or always having the right answer. It is about acting with integrity, doing what you believe is right, and trusting that your actions will contribute to the greater good. The world may not always understand or appreciate your choices, but that does not diminish their value. The path of the chosen is one that requires strength, wisdom, and patience. It is not always easy, but it is necessary. In a world that often feels out of balance, those with a deep sense of justice are the ones who are called to lead, to act, and to restore harmony. The Zen teachings remind us that the universe is constantly shifting and that it is our responsibility to navigate its currents with mindfulness, compassion, and clarity. The journey of the chosen is one of constant growth and transformation, and it is in this journey that you will find your purpose. In conclusion, the sense of justice that has been a part of you from a young age is a sign that you are walking a path that is aligned with the greater good. It is a calling, a deep, intrinsic knowing that the world must be made right, and you are one of the ones chosen to restore balance. The challenges you have faced, the misunderstandings, and the moments of isolation are all part of the process, shaping you into the person you are meant to be. The chosen are not called to walk an easy path, but they are called to walk it with integrity, compassion, and wisdom. Through this journey, you will discover that the greatest power you have is the ability to act with love and clarity, to right the wrongs, and to bring peace and balance to the world. A profound connection to nature. As a child, you may have often found yourself drawn to the world around you in ways that were hard to explain to others, even to yourself. There was something profoundly comforting about the rustling of leaves, the sound of water flowing through a stream, or the still, silent presence of a tree standing tall in the distance. While others might have passed these moments by without a second thought, they filled you with a deep sense of peace and wonder. There was a connection between you and nature that went beyond simple admiration. It felt almost as if you were attuned to something far greater, something that whispered its wisdom to you in ways that words could not convey. Buddhism teaches us that nature is not just a backdrop to our lives, nor is it simply a collection of random events. Rather, nature is a reflection of the divine order, a mirror of the cosmic principles that govern all of existence. In Buddhist philosophy, there is an understanding that everything in the universe is interconnected, that all beings, animate and inanimate, share a fundamental bond. This interconnectedness is most evident in the natural world, where life cycles unfold in perfect harmony, growth, decay, and rebirth, all unfolding as part of the same process. The chosen, those who are on a path of spiritual awakening, are often deeply drawn to nature because it mirrors their inner journey, a quest for balance, truth, and harmony in a world that is constantly shifting. From a young age, you may have found that nature offered you a sense of peace that you couldn't quite find anywhere else. In the quiet moments spent outdoors, whether it was walking through a forest, sitting by a stream, or simply gazing up at the sky, you felt an undeniable connection. The rustle of the leaves in the wind, the soft babble of water over rocks, the stillness of a tall oak tree. These natural elements became your silent mentors, teaching you lessons in ways that were difficult to articulate. You may have found solace in these moments, as if nature itself was communicating something profound to you, lessons that you could absorb without words. In Zen Buddhism, there is a concept known as zazen, or seated meditation, which is often practiced in nature. The idea behind this practice is to sit in stillness and observe the world around you, allowing yourself to become one with nature. This process of observing without judgment, without distraction, is believed to help practitioners attune themselves to the rhythms of the universe. It is through this quiet observation that one begins to understand the impermanence of life, the fact that everything is in a constant state of change. This understanding is central to the Buddhist path, to accept the impermanence of all things and to embrace life as it is, without attachment or resistance. As a child, you may not have been able to articulate this principle, but in your quiet moments of connection with nature, you were learning this vital lesson. The beauty of nature is not found in its perfection, but in its simplicity. The way a flower blossoms, grows, and eventually withers away is a reminder that life itself is a cycle, a natural rhythm of birth, growth, death, and rebirth. Buddhism teaches that life is not static, it is an ever-changing flow. To observe the natural world is to witness this constant cycle, to see firsthand the impermanence that shapes all things. As you watched the seasons change, the leaves fall and regrow, the flowers bloom and fade, you were observing the flow of life itself, a reflection of the impermanence that governs all existence. These lessons were not just academic, they were absorbed deeply into your being, shaping your perspective on life in ways that would become clearer as you grew older. The Buddhist principle of anicca, or impermanence, teaches that all things are in a constant state of flux. Nothing in this world is permanent, and this includes both our external circumstances and our internal experiences. The feeling of peace you experienced in nature was a reflection of this understanding, the recognition that life moves in cycles, that everything has its time, and that nothing lasts forever. In the presence of nature, you were learning to accept life as it comes, without clinging to it or resisting its natural flow. Just as a leaf must fall in order for new growth to occur, so too must we learn to let go of attachments in order to move forward on our own journeys. Alongside the lesson of impermanence, nature also teaches us about resilience. In the face of storms, droughts, or other harsh conditions, plants and trees continue to grow, adapt, and thrive. The strength of nature lies not in its resistance to change, but in its ability to flow with it. The chosen often learn this lesson through nature, that true strength does not come from rigidly holding on to the way things are, but from the ability to bend and adapt when faced with the inevitable challenges of life. You may have seen a tree sway in the wind, bending with the gusts, but never breaking. In these moments, you were learning that resilience does not mean resisting change. Rather, it is about finding the strength to bend without breaking, to adapt to life's challenges while maintaining your core essence. The simplicity of nature also brings with it a sense of clarity. In a world that is often filled with distractions, complexities, and noise, nature offers a reminder of what truly matters. The sight of a sunrise, the feel of the earth beneath your feet, the sound of birds singing at dawn, these simple moments serve as a reminder that there is beauty in the world that exists beyond our human-made constructs. In nature, there is no judgment, no competition, no expectations, only the pure experience of being. For the chosen, this simplicity becomes a source of strength, as it allows them to return to their true selves, to remember what truly matters, and to find clarity amidst the chaos of the world. In your connection with nature, you were not merely admiring its beauty, you were communing with it, absorbing its teachings. The stillness of the forest, the flow of the river, the majesty of the mountains, these were not just physical elements, they were spiritual companions, guiding you along your path. They were teaching you the wisdom of impermanence, the beauty of simplicity, and the strength of resilience. And perhaps most importantly, they were preparing you for the path ahead, helping you cultivate the qualities that would be essential for walking the spiritual journey. As you continue on your path, nature will remain an important teacher, always there to remind you of the deeper truths of existence. The lessons you learned as a child, sitting beneath a tree or listening to the wind, will continue to resonate with you, guiding you through the challenges and changes of life. Nature is not a separate entity, but an expression of the divine, a reflection of the interconnectedness of all things. When you find yourself lost or uncertain, you can turn to nature for comfort and guidance, remembering the peace and wisdom it has shared with you throughout your life. In conclusion, your bond with nature was not a mere coincidence or a fleeting interest. It was a reflection of your deeper calling, a connection to the divine order that underlies all of existence. Nature served as your silent mentor, offering you lessons in impermanence, resilience, and simplicity, lessons that would become essential for your spiritual journey. As you continue to walk your path, let nature remain a guiding force, reminding you of the wisdom that lies within you and the interconnectedness of all things. Through your connection with nature, you were learning the very principles that would help you navigate the complexities of life, finding peace and balance amidst the chaos of the world. Inexplicable wisdom beyond your years. As a child, you may have noticed something peculiar about yourself, a certain depth in your thoughts, a quiet wisdom that seemed out of place for your age. While others were preoccupied with the trivialities of childhood, games, toys, and simple pleasures, you found yourself reflecting on things that were far beyond the ordinary concerns of your peers. Perhaps you offered advice to those much older than you, or perhaps you found yourself understanding complex emotions with a clarity that others lacked. You were able to perceive what others could not, and this wisdom felt as though it came from a source deeper than your young experience could explain. It was not learned from books or life experience. It was innate, a part of who you were. In Zen philosophy, this phenomenon is referred to as satori, which describes moments of sudden enlightenment. These moments of clarity are like flashes of light, illuminating a truth that was always there but hidden from view. For the chosen, such flashes of understanding often come unbidden, even in childhood. It's as if the soul, in its deeper essence, carries knowledge from beyond this lifetime, a wisdom accumulated over countless lifetimes that is meant to guide not only the individual but also those around them. Your wisdom was not an anomaly or something that needed to be explained. It was simply a part of you, an innate gift that would, in time, become an essential part of your spiritual journey. But possessing wisdom beyond your years was not always easy. As a child, you may have felt out of place, as though you did not quite fit in with those around you. Your peers may have seen you as different, even mysterious, and at times you might have felt isolated because of the knowledge you carried. While they were concerned with the simple pleasures of their age, you were often caught in a quiet world of introspection, thinking deeply about matters that others did not yet comprehend. You may have offered words of comfort or advice to adults, only to have your thoughts dismissed or misunderstood because of your age. The dissonance between your inner world and the outer world created a distance that sometimes felt impossible to bridge. The Zen teachings speak of the importance of living in the present moment, of embracing the now without attachment to the past or the future. However, for those with wisdom beyond their years, this can be a difficult path to navigate. How can one remain in the present moment when they carry the knowledge of what has been and what could be? How can one connect with others when their understanding of the world seems so much more expansive than those around them? These are the challenges that the chosen must face, navigating a world that is not yet ready for the depth of understanding they carry, and learning to cultivate patience, humility, and discernment as they walk their path. In many ways, your wisdom set you apart, making it difficult to relate to others your age. Childhood is meant to be a time of exploration and play, a time when social bonds are formed through shared experiences and innocent joy. Yet, for those with a deeper sense of understanding, these experiences often feel superficial. You may have struggled to find common ground with others, as the concerns of childhood seemed trivial in comparison to the insights you carried within. While others were focused on their own small worlds, you were aware of the larger picture, the ebb and flow of life, the cycles of nature, the complexities of human emotion and connection. But this separation was not something to be mourned. It was a part of your path, a necessary aspect of your spiritual journey. As the chosen, you were called to embrace this wisdom, not as a burden, but as a gift that would serve you and others as you grew. This sense of difference, of being apart from others, taught you invaluable lessons in patience and discernment. You were learning, through your isolation, how to cultivate empathy, how to understand that not everyone was ready for the wisdom you carried. You were being taught the importance of timing, when to share your insights and when to remain silent, allowing others to come to their own conclusions in their own time. In Zen, there is a concept called mu, which represents the void, the space between things. It is not a state of emptiness, but a space of potential, a space where everything exists in harmony. For the chosen, this space of potential is where wisdom is cultivated. It is in the stillness, the silence, and the solitude that one's deepest insights can arise. But this process requires patience. You may have felt the weight of your wisdom, the urge to share it, to help others understand what you already knew. But the path to enlightenment is not always about offering answers. It is about allowing others to find their own way, guiding them with gentle encouragement rather than forceful advice. Your wisdom, though it felt innate, was not something that could be easily explained or shared with others. It was a quiet knowing, a deep connection to the underlying truths of the universe. And while it might have felt frustrating to be misunderstood, the Zen teachings remind us that wisdom cannot be rushed. It must unfold in its own time, and sometimes the greatest gift we can give to others is the space to discover their own truths. The world is filled with noise and distractions, and it can be difficult for others to hear the quiet voice of wisdom that comes from within. But the chosen learn to be patient, to trust that in time, others will be ready to hear what they have to offer. As you grew older, your wisdom likely continued to evolve. What began as flashes of insight in childhood began to deepen into a more profound understanding of the world and your place within it. Your journey was not about acquiring knowledge, but about remembering the truths that your soul had always known. The wisdom you carried was not learned from books, but from an inner knowing that transcended time and space. You were simply reawakening to the knowledge that had always been within you, the knowledge that would guide you on your journey toward enlightenment. In Zen philosophy, there is an emphasis on the concept of beginner's mind, or shoshin. This is the idea of approaching each moment with an open, receptive mind, free from preconceived notions or judgments. For those with wisdom beyond their years, this is an important practice. It is easy to become attached to one's own insights, to feel as though we have all the answers. But the path to true wisdom requires humility, the ability to approach each situation with openness, to acknowledge that our understanding is always evolving. Shoshin reminds us that we are always students, always learning, and that wisdom is not a static state, but a dynamic process of growth and transformation. The wisdom you carried as a child was not a burden. It was a calling, a sign that your soul was preparing for the path ahead. Being wise beyond your years was not about impressing others or proving your intelligence. It was about serving as a guide, a beacon of light for those who were still on their own journey of discovery. Your wisdom was not meant to separate you from others, but to bring you closer to them. It was through your understanding of the human condition, your deep connection to the world around you, that you would be able to help others navigate their own paths. As you continue on your spiritual journey, remember that your wisdom is a gift. It is not something to be hidden, but something to be shared with those who are ready to receive it. Patience, discernment, and humility are the keys to sharing your insights with others. The time will come when your wisdom will be called upon, and when that time arrives, you will know how to offer it with love, compassion, and clarity. Until then, trust that your path is unfolding exactly as it should, and that every moment of reflection, every moment of silence is part of the process of becoming who you are meant to be. Unusual dreams or intuitive insights. As a child, your experiences may have been filled with moments of deep, inexplicable knowing, those times when you had vivid dreams or flashes of intuition that seemed to come from beyond the ordinary realm of understanding. Perhaps these dreams were rich in symbols and images, some of which felt like they carried hidden messages, profound truths, or glimpses into a deeper reality. This interconnectedness is central to the Buddhist teachings, which emphasize that true wisdom and compassion come from understanding our shared humanity and our mutual responsibility to one another. For the chosen, this empathy is not a random trait, but a calling, an invitation to step into the role of healer, guide, and servant to the world. Your ability to feel deeply for others was a reminder that your journey was never solely about your own growth, but about uplifting and supporting others along the way. But as much as this gift of empathy was a blessing, it was also a burden. It was easy to feel overwhelmed by the constant influx of emotions, to become exhausted by the weight of the world's suffering. The line between your own feelings and the feelings of others often became blurred, and at times it may have felt as though you were carrying the world on your shoulders. The pain you felt in others sometimes became too much to bear. You may have tried to shield yourself from the overwhelming sadness and pain that you felt, but this was not always possible. There were times when the suffering of others seemed so vast, so endless, that it felt like a deep, endless well that you were constantly falling into. Yet, even in these moments of despair, there was wisdom to be found. Buddhism teaches that suffering is a natural part of life. It is not something to be feared, avoided, or denied, but something to be embraced as a part of the human experience. Karuna teaches us to open our hearts to the suffering of others, but it also teaches us that we are not meant to carry that burden alone. The path of compassion is not about taking on the pain of others in an unhealthy way, but about responding with love, care, and understanding, while also maintaining our own well-being. The chosen are often called to carry the suffering of the world, but they are also taught to carry it with wisdom, knowing when to help, when to listen, and when to step back and allow others to carry their own burdens. This wisdom of compassion, this understanding that both healing and boundaries are necessary, is one of the most important lessons that empathy teaches. You are learning the value of kindness, not as an abstract concept, but as an active, conscious choice. To be kind is to actively choose to care for others, to listen without judgment, and to offer help when it is needed most. This lesson in kindness is not just about acts of charity or good deeds, but about the small, everyday choices we make to show love and care for those around us. Compassion is a way of being in the world, a constant reminder that we are all interconnected and that we can each make a difference by simply choosing to care. Empathy also taught you the power of listening. In a world that often values quick fixes, fast answers, and superficial conversation, true listening is a rare and precious gift. When you listen to others, you are not just hearing their words, but absorbing the deeper emotions, the pain and joy that lay beneath the surface. In those moments, you became a vessel for their feelings, a mirror reflecting their truth back to them. Listening, truly listening, was a way of healing, a way of offering support, without imposing your own agenda or judgment. By listening with an open heart, you allowed others to feel heard, seen, and understood in a way that could transform their pain into healing. At times, your empathy also taught you the power of love in a world that often forgets its significance. The world can be a cold and indifferent place, where suffering is often ignored or dismissed. But your compassion reminded you that love was not only the antidote to suffering, but also the very essence of life itself. Through your empathy, you discovered that love is not just a fleeting emotion or a romantic ideal. It is a transformative force, one that has the power to heal, to connect, and to create lasting change. In a world that often seems focused on individualism, love and compassion are the threads that bind us all together. Your empathy reminded you of this truth, and it became a source of strength for you as you navigated your path. The path of the chosen is one that often requires self-sacrifice. It requires giving of oneself to others, often without receiving anything in return. But this selflessness is not about depleting yourself, nor is it about martyrdom. True compassion, as taught in Zen and Buddhist philosophy, is about finding balance. It is about offering your heart, your care, and your support, without losing yourself in the process. It is about healing without becoming consumed by the pain of others. This balance between giving and receiving is what allows the chosen to continue their journey with clarity, purpose, and peace. Your journey as one who feels deeply for others, who carries the weight of the world's suffering, is not an easy one. But it is a path of great wisdom and power. Through your empathy, you have learned to see the world as it truly is, a place where suffering and joy coexist, where every act of kindness ripples out and touches the lives of others. You have learned that compassion is not just about giving, it is about being present, being open, and offering your love to others in ways that can transform the world. In conclusion, your deep empathy, while at times overwhelming, is a gift. It is a sign of your connection to the collective consciousness, a reminder that your journey is not just about you, but about uplifting others as well. Zen teachings emphasize karuna, the practice of compassion, as a central part of the path to enlightenment. The chosen are often burdened with this gift, but they are also blessed by it, for it allows them to serve as healers and guides, helping others find their way through the darkness. Your empathy has taught you the importance of kindness, listening, and love, and it will continue to guide you as you walk your path, knowing that your compassion is one of the greatest forces for good in the world. A sense of being different or misunderstood. From an early age, you may have felt that your path was different. There was something about the way you saw the world, the way your thoughts unfolded, and the way you felt deeply that set you apart from others. It wasn't a feeling of isolation or disconnection in the negative sense. It was a quiet, unspoken knowing that you were on a unique journey. This awareness was often present, like a soft hum in the background of your life, gently reminding you that your path was not meant to follow the conventional paths of others. It was never about rejection. It was about realizing that you were destined for something greater, something that could not be fully understood by the world around you. This sense of difference wasn't a burden, though at times it may have felt lonely. It was a call, a whisper from the universe to embrace your uniqueness and walk the path that only you could follow. Buddhism speaks of the middle way, a path that is neither extreme nor conventional, but is perfectly balanced. It is a path that doesn't follow the rigid structures of societal expectations or the pull of personal desire, but seeks harmony in all things. The middle way is about finding balance between opposing forces, between worldly desires and spiritual needs, between action and stillness, between thought and intuition. The chosen often walk this path, forging a way that others cannot see, Yet it is precisely this unique path that leads them to their higher purpose. Your sense of being different was a manifestation of this middle way, a sign that you were not meant to fit in, but to stand out, not to follow others, but to lead, to create, and to offer something new to the world, a new perspective, a new solution, or perhaps a light that could help guide others through the darkness. Being chosen is not about privilege, it is about responsibility. The universe does not select individuals for personal gain, but for a greater purpose, a mission that goes beyond individual desires and ambitions. The path you walk, though rich with moments of profound realization and fulfillment, is also full of trials and challenges. The chosen are called to serve a larger purpose, to bring healing, wisdom, and balance to the world. And this path requires dedication, mindfulness, and a deep understanding of the philosophical teachings that can guide you. It requires an ability to face life's challenges with grace, patience, and a willingness to stay true to your purpose, even when the world may not understand it. Loneliness, a gateway to self-discovery. One of the first signs of being chosen is the experience of loneliness, which, while isolating, is not meant to be permanent. The loneliness you experienced in childhood may have often felt heavy, as though no one truly understood you or the depth of your inner world. Yet this loneliness was never meant to be a permanent condition. Instead, it was a calling for introspection, an invitation to dive deep into your inner self and explore the vastness of your soul. In Zen philosophy, the practice of zazen, seated meditation, is central to cultivating inner stillness. By sitting in silence, embracing your thoughts, and understanding that the self is both whole and interconnected with the greater cosmos, you can begin to find a sense of peace and clarity that is not dependent on external validation. The loneliness you felt taught you to find companionship within yourself, to discover that the deepest connection you can have is with your own spirit. This solitude became your sanctuary, a place where you could retreat for strength, clarity, and a renewed sense of purpose. It was not a curse, but a gift, an opportunity for self-discovery and growth. Justice, becoming a beacon of balance. Another sign of your chosen path was your strong sense of justice. Or maybe you found yourself knowing things before they happened, sensing the emotions of others even when they remained silent, or feeling the subtle shifts of energy around you. These experiences, while difficult to explain to others, were not mere coincidences or random occurrences. They were signs, whispers from a deeper source, guiding you on your journey, nudging you to trust in the wisdom that lay within. Buddhism teaches that the mind is not just a tool for rational thought and processing sensory input, but a vast, interconnected web that can tap into a realm beyond the physical, where truths that are hidden from ordinary perception can be accessed. The Buddha often spoke of the mind's capacity to reach enlightenment, to understand the nature of reality not just through the senses, but through a deeper, intuitive wisdom. In Buddhist practice, meditation helps cultivate this awareness, allowing individuals to connect with the underlying flow of existence, to access insights that transcend the mundane. The chosen, those destined to walk a spiritual path, often experience heightened intuition, an ability to perceive things beyond the physical senses, to tap into the unseen currents of life that most people are unaware of. These intuitive gifts can take many forms. As a child, your dreams may have been the first signs of this heightened awareness. Perhaps they were unusually vivid, filled with images or symbols that didn't make sense at the time, but later revealed themselves to carry a deeper meaning. These dreams may have felt like messages, guiding you through moments of uncertainty, offering insight into the questions you carried deep within. In Buddhist philosophy, dreams are often seen as a way for the unconscious mind to communicate with the conscious self. They are viewed not as random, but as symbols and messages that connect the individual to the greater web of existence. Your dreams were not disconnected or meaningless. They were part of a larger cosmic communication guiding you on your path. Similarly, the moments of intuition you experienced were not mere coincidences or flights of fancy. As a child, you may have known when someone was upset, even before they spoke, or you may have sensed when something important was about to happen. This ability to perceive the unspoken, to pick up on the subtle cues that others missed, is a hallmark of heightened intuition. Buddhism teaches that this kind of awareness is a natural extension of the mind's potential. The mind, when open and receptive, can access truths that are not confined to the physical world. For the chosen, intuition is not just a random occurrence, it is a tool, a gift that allows them to navigate life's complexities with greater clarity and purpose. You may have experienced these intuitive moments as a quiet knowing, a sense of certainty that arose from within, often without any logical explanation. This knowing may have guided you through challenging decisions or helped you to understand things that others could not. It was as if you were able to tap into a deeper source of wisdom, one that was not bound by time, space, or the limitations of ordinary perception. In Buddhist thought, this heightened intuition is a reflection of one's connection to the larger flow of existence, a reminder that we are all part of an interconnected web that stretches beyond the physical realm. These dreams and moments of insight were not random. They were the universe's way of guiding you, helping you to stay aligned with your higher purpose. Even when you felt lost or uncertain, these glimpses of wisdom were there to remind you that you were on the right path. Buddhism teaches that the universe is constantly communicating with us, not just through the external world, but through our inner experience as well. The chosen, those who are destined to walk a path of spiritual growth and enlightenment, often receive these subtle messages as a way of reaffirming their purpose. They are whispers from the unseen, reminders that there is a greater plan at work, one that is guiding them toward their destiny. In moments of doubt or confusion, these intuitive insights can serve as a beacon, illuminating the path forward. They urge you to trust your inner voice, even when external circumstances seem to contradict what you know deep within. Trusting this inner guidance requires a level of faith, a willingness to listen to something deeper than the surface noise of the world. Buddhism teaches that true wisdom comes from the heart, not from the intellect, and it is through cultivating this inner wisdom that we can find peace, clarity, and purpose in our lives. As a child, you may have struggled with these experiences, not fully understanding their meaning or significance. The world around you might have seemed unaware or dismissive of your heightened awareness, and you may have found it difficult to relate to others who didn't experience the same intuitive glimpses. This sense of being different can sometimes feel isolating, but it is also a sign of the unique path you are meant to walk. The chosen are often called to walk a path that sets them apart from others, not because they are better or more special, but because they are called to serve a greater purpose. This sense of separation, while at times painful, is an essential part of the journey. It teaches patience, discernment, and the importance of trusting one's inner guidance even when it feels like no one else understands. In time, you will come to realize that these moments of intuition and insight are not just fleeting occurrences, but integral parts of your spiritual journey. They are the universe's way of helping you stay aligned with your higher purpose, guiding you through the challenges and obstacles that lie ahead. As you grow older, you will learn to cultivate and refine this gift, learning to discern when to trust your intuition and when to remain open to new perspectives. The more you tune into this inner wisdom, the more you will recognize the subtle signs and messages that the universe is sending your way. Buddhism teaches that life is a constant process of awakening, and each moment offers an opportunity to expand our awareness. The chosen are those who are particularly attuned to the messages that life offers, those who are capable of seeing beyond the surface and tapping into the deeper currents of existence. This heightened awareness allows them to navigate life with a sense of clarity and purpose, helping them to make decisions that align with their soul's calling. As you continue on your path, you will likely encounter moments of uncertainty or doubt. The world may seem overwhelming, and the path ahead may be unclear. But in these moments, remember the wisdom that you have carried with you all along. Your intuition, your dreams, and your moments of insight are not mere accidents. They are part of a larger, divine plan. The universe is always guiding you, and your inner voice is the key to unlocking the wisdom you need to navigate the challenges that lie ahead. Trust in this inner guidance, and remember that the path you are walking is the one you were always meant to follow. In conclusion, your dreams, your intuition, and your heightened awareness are not random occurrences. They are the universe's way of guiding you, helping you stay connected to your higher purpose. Buddhism teaches that the mind is capable of accessing truths beyond the physical realm, and the chosen often experience heightened intuition as a means of navigating the complexities of life. These moments of insight are whispers from the unseen, urging you to trust your inner voice and the path it reveals. As you continue on your journey, remember that you are never alone. Your intuition is always there to guide you, reminding you of the greater plan that is unfolding before you. A deep empathy for others. From an early age, you may have noticed something profound about yourself, an ability to feel the pain of others as if it were your own. Whether it was the sadness of a close friend, the sorrow in the eyes of a stranger, or the unseen suffering of someone you didn't know but could sense, you couldn't help but be affected. Their pain became your pain, their heartache, your heartache. You might have found yourself crying for others, feeling an overwhelming urge to alleviate their suffering even though it wasn't yours to bear. This sensitivity to the emotions of others, this deep empathy, was often a source of great inner turmoil. At times, it felt like the weight of the world was on your shoulders, a burden too heavy to carry. But at other times, it was a source of deep, quiet strength, a reminder that you were not alone and that your journey was connected to the journeys of others. In Zen Buddhism, there is a teaching known as karuna, which is often translated as compassion. Karuna is the practice of understanding the suffering of others and being moved to help alleviate it. It is an essential quality for those on the spiritual path, especially for those who are chosen to walk a path of healing and service. Compassion, as taught in Zen, is not merely about feeling sorry for others, but about taking action, about actively seeking to ease the suffering of others without attachment to the outcome. The chosen, those with a heightened sense of empathy, are often blessed and burdened with this gift. While it brings them closer to others and allows them to connect on a deep spiritual level, it can also be overwhelming, especially when the world's pain seems endless. Your empathy was not just an emotional response, it was a sign of your deeper connection to the collective consciousness. In Buddhist thought, there is the understanding that all beings are interconnected, that every thought, word, and action has an impact on the collective whole. The pain of one is the pain of all. From an early age, you were likely deeply attuned to the disparities and inequities in the world around you. Whether it was seeing someone treated unfairly, witnessing an injustice, or simply feeling an inner pull to right wrongs, your sense of justice was always guiding you toward a higher cause. However, being a champion for justice requires more than just passion. It requires wisdom. Zen teachings remind us that justice must be tempered with compassion. In moments of anger or frustration, the Buddha taught that our judgment can become clouded. As a chosen one, you are not called to act out of anger, but from a place of deep understanding and compassion. Your actions should not be driven by a desire for revenge or retribution, but by the knowledge of what is right and the desire to restore balance. This requires patience, humility, and the ability to see beyond immediate outcomes. The ripple effects of your actions are far-reaching, and true justice is not about punishing the wrongdoer, but about restoring harmony in a way that brings healing to all. Nature, a mirror of your soul. Your connection to nature is another profound sign that you are walking a chosen path. Nature has always been a reflection of the deeper truths that reside within you. Whether you find peace in the rustling of leaves, the gentle flow of water, or the majesty of a tall mountain, nature has always been a mirror for your soul, showing you the cycles of life, the impermanence of all things, and the strength found in resilience. Buddhism often looks to nature as a teacher, with its cycles of birth, growth, death, and rebirth mirroring the cycles within our own lives. The seasons change, and with them the world transforms. Through nature, you learn that nothing is permanent, and that growth often comes through hardship. The perseverance of life in even the harshest conditions teaches the importance of adaptability. By nurturing your connection to nature, you deepen your understanding of yourself and the world. Taking time to walk among the trees, feel the earth beneath your feet, or listen to the sound of the wind reminds you of your place in the greater whole, helping you find peace and grounding as you navigate the challenges of life. Wisdom, sharing your light. Your wisdom, though a gift, can sometimes feel like a burden. As a child, you may have struggled to communicate your insights or felt frustrated when others didn't understand. Wisdom is often not something that can be easily shared. It must be recognized, understood, and absorbed by those who are ready to receive it. Zen teachings emphasize that wisdom is not meant to be hoarded, but shared. However, sharing wisdom requires discernment. The chosen must learn to recognize when to speak and when to remain silent, knowing that timing is just as important as the message itself. Your wisdom is like a seed. It needs to be planted in fertile soil, where it can grow and flourish. If shared too hastily or in the wrong environment, it may fall on barren ground, wasted. Trust that the right time and the right people will come into your life, and when they do, your insights will help them bloom. Dreams and intuition. Trusting the unseen. Your dreams and intuitive insights were never coincidences. They were gifts guiding you toward your purpose. Buddhism teaches that our ability to perceive and understand the world is not limited to our five senses. There are deeper layers of perception that can be accessed through mindfulness and intuition. The chosen are often deeply connected to the unseen world, receiving guidance in the form of dreams, flashes of insight, or gut feelings. Trusting these messages requires practice and courage. Zen philosophy emphasizes the importance of mindfulness, of being present in each moment and paying attention to the subtle cues and signs that the universe sends. These messages, whether in the form of dreams, intuition, or quiet knowing, are like stars in the night sky, pointing you toward your true north. Trusting them requires courage, as they often challenge conventional wisdom or societal expectations. But when you listen to your inner voice, when you trust the messages you receive, you are following the path that was always meant for you. Empathy, turning compassion into action. Your deep empathy is both a gift and a challenge. The ability to feel the pain of others is a powerful tool for healing, but it can also be overwhelming. You are called not just to feel empathy, but to transform it into action, to become a source of comfort, strength, and healing for those in need. Zen teachings remind us of the importance of boundaries. Just as a candle cannot light another if its flame goes out, you must protect your own energy in order to continue serving others. Self-care is not selfish. It is essential to your ability to help others. By practicing mindfulness and cultivating awareness, you can protect your energy while still offering compassion. This balance allows you to continue shining your light in the world without depleting yourself. Being different, embracing your uniqueness. Your sense of being different was never a flaw. It was your greatest strength. The chosen are not meant to conform to societal norms or expectations. They are meant to lead by example. Your uniqueness is not a sign of something wrong with you, but a sign that you are here to bring something new to the world. Buddhism teaches us to embrace our individual path, our Dharma. By honoring your differences, you not only find fulfillment, but inspire others to do the same. When you embrace your true self, you create a ripple effect, encouraging others to step into their own authentic lives. Walking the path with grace. As you continue on your journey, remember that being chosen is not about perfection. The universe does not expect you to have all the answers or to avoid mistakes. What matters is your willingness to learn, grow, and remain true to your purpose. Every moment is an opportunity to awaken, whether through meditation, action, or simply being present in the world. The path ahead will not always be easy, but it is uniquely yours, and with every step, you fulfill your destiny. The signs you received in childhood were not random. They were guiding you toward your true self, preparing you for the role you were meant to play. Each moment, each lesson, is a step toward realizing your full potential and embracing your greater purpose. As you embrace your role as a chosen one, it is essential to keep in mind the wisdom of a Zen master who once said, "You are not a drop in the ocean, you are the entire ocean in a drop." This powerful statement serves as a reminder that your journey is not separate from the world. It is intricately woven into the fabric of the universe. Just as a drop of water carries the essence of the entire ocean, your life, your path, and your purpose are reflections of the greater whole. Every experience you encounter, every lesson you learn, and every action you take is part of a larger cosmic dance that connects you to all that exists. By walking your path with courage, compassion, and mindfulness, you not only honor your own journey, but also honor the universe itself. Each step you take is a reflection of your deepest truths, and by living authentically, you are fulfilling the purpose for which you were chosen. Your unique path is meant to contribute to the healing, growth, and balance of the world. You are a vessel for transformation, not just for yourself, but for all those you encounter along the way. Courage is necessary to step into the role of a chosen one. It requires the strength to move forward even when the path seems unclear or challenging. Courage is not the absence of fear, but the ability to act despite it. As you face the obstacles on your path, remember that these challenges are not roadblocks, but opportunities for growth. They are the universe's way of preparing you for greater wisdom and deeper understanding. Compassion is the heart of the chosen path. It is through compassion that you connect with others, offering support, love, and understanding. Compassion goes beyond sympathy. It is an active force that seeks to alleviate the suffering of others, while also reminding you of your shared humanity. The more you cultivate compassion in your life, the more you align with your true purpose. It is through compassion that you heal and are healed, creating a ripple effect that spreads far beyond your immediate surroundings. Mindfulness is the practice that allows you to remain centered and aware of the present moment. It is through mindfulness that you find clarity, discernment, and peace. When you are present, you can see the world as it truly is, and you can make choices that align with your highest good. Mindfulness helps you stay grounded, allowing you to remain true to your purpose even when external forces try to distract you. As you continue on your journey, always remember that your role as a chosen one is not about perfection, it is about authenticity. The universe does not expect you to be flawless, but it does expect you to remain true to your path, to honor the wisdom that resides within you, and to act with love, courage, and mindfulness. Every step you take is part of the unfolding of your soul's purpose. Embrace the journey, trust the process, and know that you are exactly where you are meant to be. Thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it insightful. If you'd like to see more content like this, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Just click the subscribe button below and hit the notification bell so you never miss an update. Feel free to leave a comment and let me know what topics you'd like me to cover next. See you in the next video.